What's up, everyone? If you've been anywhere near gaming news lately, you've probably heard the name Bungie, and likely not for the best reasons. Today, we're cutting through the noise to give you a clear, concise breakdown of what's happening with their new game Merathon, why so many players are seriously angry with the studio, and how another upcoming game, Arc Raiders, fits into this picture. Strap-ins is a wild ride. First up, Bungie's upcoming reboot of their classic 90s sci-fi shooter, Merathon. Pitched as a PvP extraction shooter, there was cautious optimism. But folks, things have gone south fast. The game was supposedly targeting a September 2025 release. However, a closed alpha back in April-May 2025 reportedly went very poorly. Testers and critics were largely disappointed, leading to serious calls for a delay, possibly into 2026. Unsurprisingly, Bungie seems to have pumped the brakes. Reports say a big June 2025 trailer and pre-orders were scrapped, and the August open beta might be replaced by smaller playtests. No official delay yet, but it's looking grim. But the real bombshell, the one that has the community reeling, is a massive plagiarism scandal. In May 2025, Bungie was accused and admitted to using art assets from an independent artist named Anti-Real in Merathon without permission or credit. Their explanation? A former employee slipped them in. Merathon's game director and art director even did a live stream apology, described as painfully uncomfortable, promising to scrub all assets. For a studio like Bungie, this is catastrophic. It's not just a mistake, it points to massive internal issues, and for many is the final nail in the coffin of trust. This isn't even the first time they've faced such accusations. Morale at Bungie is reportedly at an all-time low. Even before this, Marathon's initial teasers got a lukewarm reception. Now, many are calling it dead on arrival. The Merathon mess isn't an isolated incident. It's piled on top of other reasons why the community is so frustrated with Bungie. A huge factor? In late 2023, Bungie laid off about 100 employees. This was shocking, especially after Sony bought them for $3.6 billion with promises of independence and empowerment. These cuts hit various teams, including those working on Merathon, impacting development timelines and shaking player faith. And more recent reports suggest the workforce has been slashed by up to 50% over 2 years. This feels like a betrayal to anyone invested in Bungie's past and future, and makes those initial Sony promises ring hollow. Beyond the layoffs, there's a general sense of mismanagement and broken promises, particularly evident in Merathon's troubled development and the handling of the plagiarism scandal. The lack of transparency, followed by what many felt was an inadequate explanation for such a major ethical lapse, has severely damaged Bungie's credibility. This isn't just about one game. It's about a pattern of behavior that makes it hard for the community to trust the studio's leadership and decision-making. Add to this reports from former employees describing a toxic work environment and dreary top-down decision-making, and you can see why the anger is so palpable. The trust that Bungie built over decades feels like it's being systematically dismantled. So where does Arc Raiders fit into all this? This is where the comparison gets brutal for Bungie. Arc Raiders from Embark Studios, a team with a lot of ex-DICE talent, is another upcoming extraction shooter. And here's the kicker. Many are saying, and frankly the evidence from playtests and early impressions is mounting, that Arc Raiders is shaping up to be way better than Merathon. While Merathon's alpha was met with disappointment and its image is now tainted by plagiarism, Arc Raiders has been generating significant positive buzz. Players are praising its gameplay, its fresh take on the genre, and its overall polish, even in test phases. It's not about a direct studio-on-studio attack, or some Bungie dev targeting the Arc Raiders team. It's simpler. Bungie's own massive stumbles with Merathon, especially the art theft, make Arc Raiders look like an even more competent and exciting alternative by comparison. While one studio is dealing with internal chaos and ethical breaches, the other is quietly building hype. For some gamers, especially those who feel burned by Bungie's recent actions or who recall disputed theories about Bungie's past influence on other studios' live service projects, seeing Arc Raiders thrive while Merathon falters feels like a kind of market justice. But fundamentally, it boils down to one game showing immense promise while the other is mired in serious trouble. Bungie, a studio with a legendary history, is in a seriously precarious position. Merathon is on shaky ground, to say the least, facing development woes and a critical blow to its integrity. Player anger is intense, fueled by layoffs, a perceived lack of accountability, and the disastrous handling of Merathon's issues. Trust has been deeply eroded. The studio is at a major crossroads. They need to do some profound soul-searching and take concrete actions to rebuild faith with their community, clean up their internal processes, and prove they can still deliver quality, ethically produced games. The future of Merathon, and arguably Bungie's standing in this new Sony era, depends on it. What do you all think? Can Bungie salvage Merathon? Is Arc Raiders already the winner in this space? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If this helped clear things up, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless. The lone and level sands stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Merathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic teamfights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No two runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends? Grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.